All right, for this last tutorial on topic 6 masking, we're going to do the composite mask. If you scroll down on this page, you'll see that the composite mask is the final masking exercise, but there are no provided images. So for this image, we're going to go to Google Images and we are going to find an image to use for the background. On the desktop, you can easily see what the pixel count is on an image. On the iPads, it's a little bit more difficult to find that information. So we're just going to go with our gut, and what looks good and clear and crisp in the search is what you're going to use. You're basically going to find a background image, and then you're going to find two items that you're going to combine. So think about like two animals, an animal and a human part, whatever doesn't normally go together. We're going to place those images and use masking to make them look like they're combined. And we're going to do this on an 8.5 by 11 inch document. So I'm going to start with our Google search. And first thing I'm going to look up would be a cloud background. I already have all my images saved. I'm just going to show you what my process is here. So I'm going to look for a cloud background under images. And really what I'm looking for is when I click on an image and pull it up, that it's not pixelated like this. I'm looking for an image that when I pull up the preview, it's really crisp and clear. And then those are the images that I'm going to click and hold and save. I decided I'm going to combine a rhino with some insect wings on a cloud background like it's flying. I already have all those images saved in my folder, so in my photos. So I'm going to pull those up and open up my photos. And you can see they're all here. So I have my cloud background, my wings, and my rhino. So in Photoshop, I'm going to create a new document. This time we wanted inches, but this time we're going to do 11 by 17. I'm sorry, 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to make my width 11 and my height 8.5 because my picture is horizontal. So that's going to match that orientation. And you just double check the orientation icon here. 300 for the resolution, create. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on my image icon to add that image, add those images in. So I'll start with my background. So I have my clouds. I'm going to go ahead and make sure this fills the whole space. All right, I'll click done. And then I'm going to add my other photos. So my rhino came in as a true PNG, so I won't have to mask that one. But I am going to bring, I think I'm going to do these wings in, and this is going to require some masking. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my selection tools, and I can either do object selection, or I really like the actions to select subject. You also will notice remove background. I don't want to do this because I want to do masking, and I will show you why. So I'm going to click select subject and see how well it does selecting my wings. Did a perfect job. Come over to the right. I'm going to find that layer mask icon from the previous exercises and click it. Perfect. So why I like this is that when I have a mask, I can use my paintbrush and I can paint black over my brush. I have a specific brush set here, so that's why I was a little bit sketchy. And that will hide part of the image. And if I hide part of the image, I can then switch my mask back to white and go over that same area and bring it back. So that's why masking is nice, is you're not destructive. You're not pulling away the background. I'm going to go ahead and undo that and go back to my perfect little masked wing set. All right. Okay. In order to flip these wings, I want them to go in the other direction. I'm going to find the transform tool in my toolbox. And not using the tools on the left side, but coming up here to the upper right-hand corner, there's these little arrow icons that will flip your image. So I want this one that's going to flip it horizontally. And then I'm going to rotate by selecting this top circle and just kind of double clicking and dragging so that I can get this in place. All right, now I have my rhino with its wings on. I'm going to click on my cloud background and I'm going to select some of these clouds in the background to copy and paste so it doesn't look like he's just floating in the air. Whoops, too much. Let's try that one more time. All right, now I'm going to copy my selection. All right, so when you're on the arrow tool, click on the arrow tool from the selection tool, come to this bottom menu and click more, and you're gonna duplicate that selection. So now you can see I have another layer in my layer box. All right, once I have that selected, I'm gonna bring that over here. I'm gonna use my arrow tool to move it, click on this layer and drag it forward. So it's in front of the rhino. Then I'm gonna do the same thing by selecting and getting another cloud. I'm gonna bring this one over here. Now, one thing I would like to do is take this cloud and use a blend mode to kind of blend it into the picture so it doesn't look like it's floating there. So I'm gonna click on this little layer property icon and find my blend mode drop down menu. I'm gonna come down and select one. I think I'm gonna do one of the lighten. I'm gonna do that on my second one as well. And I just know how the lighten blend mode works, and I know that I like how that looks. So I'm gonna stack those here. So it looks like my rhino's emerging from the clouds, and that's all I have to do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this, publish and export, make sure it's a JPEG, high quality. And then when I save that, I'm gonna save the image and insert it on my slides.